Have I got anything that needs a good firing?
What can I cook up today?
There must be a way to spring this trap safely.
There must be a way to spring this trap safely.
Have I got anything that needs a good...
A whetstone. Quite useful for a war-weary blade.
A whetstone wheel.
Perhaps I can detonate that explosive from a distance.
There must be a way to spring this trap.
Ah, a forge.
I may have a blade or two that could use a honing.
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Riverlon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Hear them gulls? Means we're close to shore. I don't ever you go in there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry enough for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the Counselor in. Source in a city like Cyseal, nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Cyseal. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off in the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the Counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
Better to detonate that mine safely than trip over it myself.
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Riverlong cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great
More junk. If I didn't know there were orc ships raiding to the west, I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage?
Horse hunters! How did they find us?
Take the stone to the temple. These whelps will be easy to crush.
As you say, Madam Conduit.
Arise, fair dead! Seize upon our enemies!
time of your death is at hand.
Their leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside? Those thieves were more than petty criminals. Their leader gave life to the dead. What stone could they have been so keen on taking?
We can't well turn away from such an odious show of source. Let's investigate the tomb and see what answers it might reveal.
Indeed. For all we know, these dark-dealing thieves may be involved with Councillor Jake's murder. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Careful, there's a mine in the middle of our path.
Someone must have an interest in protecting whatever's kept here.
Bah! This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Let's see. Key, lockpick, or hammer? I've always heard there's typically more to a king's tomb than meets the eye.
It could be a myth, or it could be our lucky day.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. Well, what's this I've spotted? short work of that door, but I don't imagine our weapons would survive such use for long. Careful, I've spotted a trap. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
What's this? I found something.
Well, what's this I've spotted?
What's this? I found something.
A strange sort of pit. There must be a way to disarm it. Shh! I think I hear voices downstairs.
The last thing we need is to surprise another angry summoner.
I feel uneasy here. I'd better keep my weapon at the ready. No glory in this death. This seems to be broken.
This seems to be broken.
This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken. This seems to be broken.
A living rat dares disturb the slumber of the dead? A thieving fool insults the sanctity of the grave. The Bloodstone Defiler, where is it? Strange indeed. Robed indeed. Your tricks will not save you from retribution, deceiver. The Bloodstone, deliver it now, and I may deign to end you quickly. In life, I toiled to care for these holy grounds. In death, I protect them from profaners and poachers. The legacy of Cecile is mine to preserve. Her traitors are mine to destroy. I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for leisure. I suppose you had no lust for the treasure of the dead. Ha! Run if you like, Defiler. Whichever way you take leads you to the grave.
Who's laughing now?
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
Cornered! Let's see you try to wriggle free. Death, its own deliverance.
A living rat des in life. I toil to care for these holy grounds. I suppose you only crept among these sacred tombs for strange indeed. Run if you like.
Eternal silence awaits you. Time of your death is at hand.
Death never dies, fool. Death in 1,000 forms rules all.
Face the unending darkness.
Here lies Master Ragequin's second apprentice, killed by dying. Here lies Master Ragequin's first apprentice, killed by a falling corpse.
Hold it right there, orc scum! No one slips past the Legion unchallenged.
Calm down, Junius. Doesn't look like one of them orcs to me. Not a single horn in sight, you know.
Just hold your tongue, will you, Bibius? Can't be too careful. We are sworn to protect Scythiel. We're legionnaires, of course. On the lookout for orcs, for they've been attacking from the sea. God knows why they do it, but we stand firm. We of the Legion, liberators of Rivellon.
Liberators of liquor too, aren't we, old chum?
Shh! Just pipe down, will you, Bibius? Aye, a noble word for watchdog, that, for that is what we do. Watch over the local dogs that ever so often aim for one another's throat, and separate them to keep the peace. Separate by the sword, that is.
Best way to calm a wily dog is to neuter it. Ha! Spay for pay, Legion's motto.
Just put a sock in it, will you, Bibius?
Ever kept the watch? Stood on the lookout for hours on end, bored stiff. Boredom's a demon, buddy, and booze is the demon hunter. There. I do declare it's time for this hunter to take another shot. Huzzah! So, you're source hunters, are you? And how are we supposed to verify that's true? We can't read, my friend. So for all we know, those papers say you're a polymorph parrot on the lookout for a 2-bedroom birdcage. They don't prove a thing.
You know what? We'll take you two to the wizard. I know he reads. He has books large as a house, that one. Yeah, he'll squeeze the truth out of you, one way or another.
The wizard, you say? Sounds good to me. Lead the way.
Agreed. A wizard is bound to know more about what is going on around here.
Captain, come along. We're not far from the city. Pass the ball, will you, Junius?
Look! A wanderer comes my way, walking the sands upon which this poor shell must suffer. Oh me, Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell, doomed to live under a canopy of arid sky, not his native, tender water. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin out of their neighbor's fur. Oh. Time is an indulgent mistress to one who spends happy hours as she passes. But when your existence is one of misery, she becomes a lethargic hum. Oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since antiquity, when the ruins around us were palaces, and the sun-bleached dead merry children. All this I have seen, alive, alone. Alas, my fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the rats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water. Swing me as far as your arm's strength gives lease, and treasure long sunk I will grant thee. What do you say, kind knight? Will you return the King of Pearls to the sea, so he may yield you long-lost treasure?
Kindness is its own reward, and then there's the promise of treasure to boot. Let's throw him into the sea.
Agreed. Let's send him home.
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound bitch. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
Very good at.
And yours, Bibius. Come, let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle their big brutes.
Another one.
The unbelievers.
Target dances in shadows.
Thank heavens. Maybe now you can learn something useful, like how to wash your underthings.
Seven, have mercy on your soul. Did you see that?
Leading those orcs?
Those orcs had a human commander.
Where are Bibius and
How
Junius?
very curious.
They hear the
and how
fight.
very disquieting.
Hey, the Source Hunter! Nice to see these winds are blowing more than bloody orcs our way. Welcome to Sicil, comrade. And good luck. I'm a proud legionnaire and always will be. But I thought we'd be doing more slashing and less dying when we landed in Sicil. It's these orcs. Now that they have bees in their bonnets about God only knows, we need every hand we can get. That rat-faced shaman of theirs even went to the trouble of launching a fireball at a ship in the harbor to the west of here. They may need help. I'd go myself, but we legionnaires are under strict orders never to abandon our posts. Never know when another one of these little raiders might sidle up the beach. Beats me what traitorous madness came over that dog. A man among orcs. It'd be like one of your kind running with a sorcerer. Whatever the cur's incentive to raise swords alongside that murderous lot, let's all hope it was a private grudge. Can you imagine if we had to add a slew of wild-eyed, orc-loving bedlamites to our list of enemies in Sicil? I like you much better with your guts on the floor.
What's all this ruckus? Sounded worse than a dozen tomcats fighting over the world's last mackerel. Ah, but I see we've suffered another orc landing. And judging by the relative ease with which it was dispatched, I can only come to one conclusion. Source hunters have arrived in Sicil. You're as welcome as a glass of cooled milk on a hot day, my friend. I'm Ahu, at your service. It was I who requested your presence in this troubled city. So you were, and so you weren't. Behold! There we are. Meet my other half, Hunter. Ha ha! No need to look so flabbergasted. I may be a wizard rife with tricks and guile, but I assure you my plea is an earnest one.
Avert your gaze, and I'll handle this threat for
So, now that the cat is out of the bag, let us turn to the matter of Councillor Jake's murder. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I can feel in my very whiskers that sorcery was at play. Visit the scene of the crime, and I'd bet sardines for salad you'll say the same. Captain Aureus, though, the local commander of the Legion, insists I'm seeing ghosts. I insist he's blind to all but the undead. Jake was murdered in a downstairs room of the King Crab Inn, up in Sicil proper. The Legion keeps it under lock and key, though, so you'll need Aureus's permission should you want to have a peek. So there are, or rather, there is. Popular opinion has it his wife did the deed, but to be frank, I have my doubts. She seems a likely candidate, to be sure, but that would make her a sorceress. Esmeralda knows how to charm, yes, but I just don't see her magic extend beyond a frolicsome look and wink. Still, don't simply take my word for it, Hunter. It may be well worth your while to cross-examine her yourself. The Legion has her under guard in her shop near the town square. That's where you'll find poor Jake's widow. A human, you say? Truly? But that would be like a kitten leading a wolf pack. And yet, I have heard rumors about a sect of sorts, a shadowy set of worshippers that associate even with orcs. Some say they're sorcerers, but people will say that about anyone who behaves a bit strangely nowadays. I don't quite know what to make of this news, but thank you for informing me. It'd be foolish to dismiss such a curious event out of hand. Ah, the undead. They've been clawing their way out of the ground for 2 years now. And for 2 years the stalemate between them and the living has been dragging on at a weary pace indeed. The Legion did a good job keeping them at bay, but I think it's fair to say that without my magic-infused ballistae, they'd have gotten the better of us by now. Someone is responsible for the outbreak. Necromancers are at work, but who are they and where do they hide? Alas, that searching for them is like searching for a single louse in a lion's mane. Unfortunately, that is absolutely correct. The Orc siege is yet another hairball stuck in this city's already choking throat, and it shows no signs of abating. We've cordoned off the western beach where most Orc activity has been reported. For the 9 lives of me, I can't seem to figure what they're doing here. There's nothing of interest along the waterfront, except for a set of caves with an unfavorable reputation. Maybe they're after some pirate's treasure, the fools. Oh, but that's not a trick. It's a blessing. Or does it surprise you that I enjoy taking a feline guise? Such magic is a gift, Hunter. To tread upon the realm of instinct. Even articulate speech, perhaps humanity's greatest asset, cannot give expression to something so inextricably innate. To be out in the night, to stalk on silent paws and hunt with only the moon as your witness. You couldn't possibly imagine the thrill.
An orc in love. Ha! When this little charm fades.
But of course, it's handy to speak in more than meows. And I couldn't brew potions or make machines without opposable thumbs. This I freely admit. Let's just say I have found a way to enjoy the best of 2 worlds. I'm glad we've met, Source Hunter. And I'm certain we have a lot more to talk about. Feel free to visit me whenever you want. I've set up a workshop in the Legion's headquarters. Once you're there, just take the stairs, but do pay a visit to Aureus first. He may bark like a beagle with its tail stuck in the door, but you won't get very far in your investigation without speaking to the de facto leader of Sicil. And with that, I bid you adieu, Hunter. Adieu and good luck. May your enemies prove to be mere mice, and you the dauntless mouser.
Sorcery, sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Ahu mentioned?
Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving. The ship's blazing ever higher.
We need more help or she's lost.
Blasted orcs have learned how to play with fire.
We need more help or she's lost. What if the orcs are sending another fleet?
Come on, men! Put your back into it! Ship's blazing ever higher! Are these the biggest buckets we've got? The ship's blazing ever higher!
I need to dry off.
Shores? Here? In Seal? Bah! Of all the cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. That was some fast acting there. Many thanks on behalf of all us seamen. Who knows if it's even over for sure? Those damn orcs keep sending us these terrible surprises.
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Seal? Name's Conrad, cargo trader, sea captain, an expert in all things nautical. Folks across Andervale know to give old Conrad a holler when it comes to rare imports and magical items. Those orcs must be out of their barbarous minds launching an attack on a city where a great wizard resides. Though even I must admit they put up a hearty effort. I'll tell you, the only time I'd consider waging a suicide campaign like that would be if whatever I sought was something worth dying over.
The captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for a joyride.
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back. Sauce? Here in Seal? Ah. Of all that cursed hunks of rock to land on, Conrad chooses this one. Madness! Thought we were done with those swampy uglies a fortnight ago. Note, though, that none of them dared to come close to the tide splitter. A ship's got a soul too, you know. You did a mighty fine thing saving that barge. For those of...
Shores? Here? In Seal? Bah! Of all the...
A home, a livelihood, all sunk in a matter of minutes while we could do nothing but look on. Well, we were merchants what seems like a moment ago. With our ship sunk, we're little more than 3 men with nothing more to say than boo. These damn orcs. They can't keep off this place for the life of them. They came in here slinging fireballs and swinging swords. Wasn't a thing we could do to defend ourselves. With our ship gone, nothing for it but to get a job. Slim pickings around here, that's for sure. Maybe you can keep an eye out, though. That was a right stunning show of magic you pulled, it was. Wish you'd have been around when our own barge went down in flames.
Ever heard about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for a joyride?
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll take anything. Really.
Have you found us a job yet? We'll... Speaking of youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that awful charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it on with Farmer
Oh, hail the rain spirit. That was a fine display of magicianship, it was. Or who knew what he was doing, bringing in a source hunter, didn't he? I thought the old gal's fate was sealed when the orc shaman set his fiery gaze on her sails. But you managed to rescue her from a watery grave. Closest thing to a miracle I've ever seen.
Janir really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Really? The greatest warriors in Rivellon can't cross a rope?
That loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it all within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Feather's carriage for a joyride?
Size seal, shiver me timbers and sliver me heels. Steady, boys, steady. We'll be leaving as soon as we're packed up.
I guess someone else got here first.
That's enough of that now. Halt! These gates are to remain closed at all times. Well, I'll be a little red imp's uncle, the Source Hunter. Sorry for the gruff treatment. I didn't recognise you right away. Please tell me, how can I aid the investigation? You can see security's tight to the never around here since that surprise attack the Orcs put on a fortnight ago. They did enough damage to shake up Ahu and Captain Aureus something fierce. We can only hope to hold back the undead and these left-field orc attacks long enough for reinforcements to arrive. I don't think you're quite ready to head out into the wilds to me. Also, a party of 1 or 2 runs the risk of being outflanked and outnumbered. I'd bring some backup if I were you. Of course, the choice is yours, but are you sure you want to venture out? Thank you for heeding my words of warning, Hunter. Scythiel needs you alive and well.
Sea garbage. I can't even smell the sea air. A source hunter. I thought you lot had burned the last of those nutty sorcerers by now.
I said myself, if I don't start earning an extra gold piece an hour, I'll walk out that door.
Good on you. These boss men respect confidence, you know. So what did he say?
Well, what does it matter? Day labour's more suited to my nature anyhow.
Yes, honest pay for an honest day.
What's all this? You're so it's Jake was so there are. She see still don't simply a human and I don't that's unfortunate. There's nothing of interest to be, but of course I'm glad once you're there and with that.
Sects, undead, orcs. Looks like we have our work cut out for us.
At least we won't be bored. How about we go see that Aureus chap Arhu mentioned?
Buckets we've got.
Are these the biggest buckets we've got?
Shit's blazing ever higher. Come on, men. Put your backs into it.
Great. Nurtures our land.
Come on, then! Get back into it!
A home? Well, he's dead with our ship gone. That was a right.
Sailor, what news from the mainland?
Oh, nothing.
plenty of fish in the sea, but I've got the foulest of the lot on my racks.
Better to evacuate this place while there is still some left to save, I say. Go while the going's good.
Know much about zombies, do you? How about walking bones?